Afternoon troops, welcome back to the channel on a lovely spring day. It's about 7-8 degrees, cold northerly wind. Apparently temperature's going to drop like a stone tonight for a little while and then pick up again tomorrow. So one day off work as always, got to make the most of your time on the bank. So we're out in search of carp. Come to one of my local waters, Bain Valley. As I say, it's a cold northerly, so I didn't want to go on one of the bigger waters where the wind would be dropping the temperature of the water really quickly. So I've come to a more sheltered one, Spitfire, the only one on the lake. So as I'm walking around, and there's some overhanging trees. I'll show you the swim in a minute. There's some overhanging trees to my right hand side. I saw a pigeon, big woody, take off, and as it took off, the sun was out and it spooked a few fish, so I've cast right on top of their noses. That's why I've chosen to swim. All I've done is set up my gear. I mean, I ain't set up no bivvies or anything like that. So I've got a leg to myself. If I have to move and get on the fish, I will. So keep it to the basics at the moment. Just keep my gear out, and that way if I need to move on to the fish, I can wrap up quick, move around the lake. A bit sharpish, but it's a beautiful day. Birds are singing, sun's shining sometimes it ain't. So in search of carp again, and we're going to 2-rod approach. Only 2 rods here, day ticket venue, 2 rods only. So that's what we're using, and both rods are in. Let me show you the swim. Might as well just crack on and get into it, catch some fish. Here's my swim. To the right hand rod. So towards that far bank there, where that tree comes out. 10-15 foot in front of it. That's what I saw the fish moving, so that's where it's gone, straight on them. The wind's blowing into this bay. I ain't put any extra bait out. Right hand rod is my nutritional bait development Belacan squid boilie, with a small mesh bag of a pellet and a little bit of ground bait in as well, dry, just to cloud up the water a touch, but that's all. Not enough to feed them, just enough to cloud the water up. The left hand rod, again I saw something moving, so I've cast to that 30-40 metres out. So they're both quickly cast out to showing fish. Again, small mesh bag. Left hand rod, I have a CC Moore Pacific Red tuna. So I've gone with the fish based baits again today. It's a beautiful day. Let's go. This is Spitfire Lake. Donkeys years ago I used to fish this. It used to be a very good mixed course fishery. It still is. You know, some nice tench and roach in here. Some big eels, but it's slowly turning into the 3rd carp water on this complex. You know, if people can't get on bowfighter or sterling, they come on here, and there's some big fish in here, some decent carp in here, to just under £30. So the plan of attack today is cast us some showing fish. Going to be patient, going to watch the water, put some freebies out after an hour or two if nothing's happened, but I'm going to keep my eye out for showing fish, and let's see what day brings. Well, carp just crashed out over my right hand rod. So it's definitely fish in the area. It's a nice mirror as well. Afternoon troops, we've been fishing a couple of hours now. Really getting excited. So when I arrived I saw a couple of fish get spooked. So I put both baits out on top of them, and I've seen a big mirror crash out a couple of times over my rods. I've introduced on both spots a kilo of mixed particles and about half a kilo of freebie spoilies scattered around. I'll be fishing over it. I don't want to put too much in, you know, it's the old saying, you can always put more in, you can't take it out. So I haven't gone over the score with the mixed particles, a kilo over each spot. It's not a lot, it's about 5 or 6 bombs. That takes a kilo, doesn't it? Bomb con. So it's not a lot. But since I introduced the bait, I've had a couple of liners on my right hand rod, so the fish are definitely out on that right hand spot. If it starts producing, I shall stick my left hand rod over there as well. If you get a spot that's fishing well and the fish are getting their heads down, you get both your rods on there. That's my view anyway, you know. Well, it depends on the nature of the terrain, the swim you're fishing, the bottom, how weedy. There's a whole host of reasons why maybe you couldn't fish 2 rods on one spot. But if you can, there's no harm doing it. So at the moment I've got my bottom baits approach as always, blowback rigs, and I'm very hopeful. It's really mild. I mean, it's lovely. It's a lovely afternoon. Birds are singing. I mean, this place can get quite busy in the height of the season once it starts warming up, etc. But when you're over here on your own, the nature and the wildlife is amazing. I was making up some mesh bags. I had about 4 or 5 robins all coming up. They knew. Looking at all the crumbs and everything falling. Ducks they spotted it. Ducks were over. So the wildlife is used to plenty of anglers. So I'm hoping that it's nice and early in the campaign, in the season, and it's going to be productive little session here. The only gripe I would have is in my swim I've picked up a lot of debris. It ain't the fisheries' fault. You wouldn't even spot it walking around or driving around. Not till you sit down. I found a discarded rig, 20-30 metres of mono, some braid, cigarette butts, no end of cigarette butts. But why people can't take it all their crap home with them, I don't know. Right, the rig, you could say maybe they mislaid it and lost it. But the discarded mono and the discarded braid, there's no reason for it. It's a nice afternoon. The sun's still out. It's lovely. It really is lovely. All I'm waiting for now is one of those rods to roar off. Hook pull. Oh, I ain't had one of them for ages. Yeah, with pike and stuff like that, but actual carp, playing it that long, very rare I get a hook pull. Oh well. They're on my spot, they're feeding. It was a nice common. No cigar. I mean, I brought it in really quick, and then that last 3 or 4 foot to the net was not having it at all. It was diving all over the place. So I didn't give it any welly, but that last bit I got it to the surface. Just had to ease it over the net and the hook pulled out. That's the way it goes. But that's given me some encouragement. So they're on my spots, they're feeding. That was on the right hand rod, the Pelican squid, over by the overhanging trees. So back out on the same spot. Let's hope that was not a passing ship in the night. It's not even night. It's, you know, it's, well, the clocks have gone forward, so it's, you know, still light. Sun's still out behind me somewhere, and it's 1-0 to the Carp. I said it was a lovely golden coloured common. Don't know how big it was. Felt good, but you never can tell. Some 20s and 30s come in like bream, and then other times you get like a 11, 12, 15 pounder that fights like Billy-O. So yeah, I don't know what it was. It looked good. To me it was a 20, but doesn't really matter what it was, does it? It wasn't in the landing net, wasn't put on the mat. But that's good. You know, that's not bad. I was just about thinking about repositioning the rods, putting them back out there, rebaiting them with a new PVA mesh bag before it gets dark. Just made myself a porridge pot, and whoosh, the right hand rod went. Caught me on the hop a little bit, but I didn't film it from behind as I normally do. But I've got plenty of footage, hopefully with the head cam. I hope you enjoyed the footage if I got plenty. Yeah, so 1-0 to the Carp. Let's get cracking again. That's us almost out of daylight, troops. Time to get comfy. Wait for those alarms to start rip-roaring. So we lost one to a hook pull, so they're out there, they're feeding. Let's see if we can make it pay. Let's see what the night brings. I've just recast my left hand rod. They've both got fresh boosted baits on out there. Look at that, what a beautiful sight, eh? Lake to myself. Early spring. 8 o'clock in the evening, look at it. Absolute beautiful. Huh. Not what we was after. Snotty bream. Be happy to catch that on the river. But we'll go again. That was on the Pro Sushi. Let's get the rod back out and see if we can catch some carp. We're off the mark-ish. Morning troops. Well, I wouldn't say uneventful night. I showed you one of the bream. I had about 5 or 6 during the night. Five, yeah. 5 during the night. All bream. So, well, no point filming them. They're all about the same size. You know, they weren't even proper bream really, were they? Extra large skimmers. So, it was quite clear up to about 2-3 a.m. Bit of a frost formed on the bivvy, but not on the ground, and it's clouded over since. It's quite overcast. I feels quite mild. So I've recast the rods, fresh PVA mesh bags on, catapulted half a kilo again over each spot. The fish definitely out there moving. Let's say I lost that one with a hook pull just before dark. I was hoping that they were, you know, on the feed, but got breamed out. But yeah, it's got a whole day today to try and put things right. So I've recast the rods. A nice cup of hot coffee. Porridge pot, maybe breakfast. I'm raring to go. I'm up and about. It's lovely morning. You can hear the birds singing, can't you? It's quite busy here in the warmer months, and the weekends. Being a day ticket fishery, you'd expect it to get busy. But when you've got the place to yourself like this, and you can hear the wildlife, it's a fantastic little spot. It really is. Been constant bird song since about 4:30. It's been a fantastic morning to be on the bank. Really has been. See if we can convert that into pounds and ounces. big scaly common. I like a big common. I say the one I lost was good, but there we are. You can't cry over spilt milk. We've got to plug on, move on. Baits are in. Always got a chance if you're on the bank. Can't catch at home. How many old sayings can I get in one go? Well, let's see if we can catch some carp for you. Afternoon troops, sorry I haven't been very active. Second day, it's just the rain crept in about 8 o'clock and it hasn't stopped. Rebaited and recast twice. It's a day ticket venue, there should be loads of fish in here. I'm hoping that regular bait going in rather than setting my traps and waiting. So I'm rebaiting every 2 hours of the mesh bag. My left hand rod I've changed now. Got a little high vis pink pop up on, obviously matching the freebies and the bottom bait I had on earlier. It's a pop up version, so I'll try that. Try something different, see if anything works. But at the moment it's very quiet, nothing's happening. What do you do when it's raining? Me personally, I've been sat in my bivvy going through. I've got so many tied rigs, it's unbelievable. How many rigs do you need? So I was going through them, anyone that looked wrong or slightly off or slightly worn or anything I didn't like about it, I took apart, kept the hooks, obviously resharpened them, I'm not swivels, all the other bits and bobs that go with it, rig rings, all that sort of stuff. Yes, I've had a good old tidy up, so cut my rigs down by about half. So it's sitting, sheltering from the rain, waiting for something to happen. I'm sorry I haven't caught anything yet. I've had 5 or 6 snotties during the night. I showed you one of them, and lost that common. Gutted now. I was all like, oh well, never mind, because I thought I was going to catch a few more, but it's a lot milder, but it's very wet, very miserable, and not much action yet, I'm afraid. But it's midday. I'm going to stick it out to about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm going to pack up and go home. Just over 24 hours, that's plenty. Ain't caught in 24, probably ain't going to catch. So Going to go and hide and sulk for a little while. Hopefully it'll stop. It was due to stop 3-4 o'clock apparently, so hopefully in the last hour or two conditions might pick up. But it's very wet here. You know, it was wet here before, and now it's absolutely sodden. But that's the problem. You've got limited time. You can only go fishing when you've got days off work. You know, you can't reserve pegs and they've pre-baited for you and have the lake to yourself and all that malarkey. You've got to, you know, just grin and bear it, get on with it, go somewhere. You hope you're going to catch some fish. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Well troops, it's finally stopped raining. Gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just stopped. I'm going to have a slow pack up. Sometimes during the rain, you know, during days when it's overcast and rainy, you can feel your boots, but not today, weren't to be. They've not shown any interest at all, whereas yesterday they were crashing out on the surface and everything, really showing themselves. We lost that one common. Gutted now. It looks like it's going to be the only run of the trip. 5 or 6 bream during the night. Nothing to shout about either. You know, it was a sodding great dustbin lid. Double figures. I'd be happy, but no. It was tough going, but it's still March, so you know we got to expect this time of year. It's not going to be plain sailing. The weather's going to be up and down. Temperatures are going to be up and down. The fish feeding are going to be up and down, so if you've got the spare time, always go fishing. That's what I say. So I had a bit of time off work, so I've gone. It hasn't paid off, but you don't know. It stopped raining, it's mild, and I'm going to have a slow pack up. I mean a slow pack up. You're going to be a 2-hour pack up, you know what I mean? And hopefully we'll nab something before the end of the day. And as I say that, it started raining again, but I don't know what to do. As I say, slow pack up. If I catch anything, I'll record all the action and show you. Thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate all the views. Just because the pike season's over doesn't mean I've stopped making videos. So if you like fishing for all species, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and check out the videos.